Before we move in, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into the Spanish royal family, European monarchies, and the stories shaping modern royalty. As you watch, tell us in the comments, what do you think defines Princess Leonor of Spain more? Her education, her military training, or the way she steps into public duty with calm and confidence? Leonor, Princess of Asturias, is a name already etched into Spain's contemporary history. Born on October 31, 2005, she is the elder daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, and the heir presumptive to the Spanish throne. Her life has unfolded in full public view, yet the arc is striking. A newborn announced by SMS to a nation, a schoolgirl with a quiet poise, a student in Wales finishing the International Baccalaureate, and now a young royal swearing to uphold the Constitution and embarking on a 3-year military program designed for a future head of state. This is not a ceremonial upbringing. It's a carefully crafted preparation for leadership. Leonor was born in Madrid at Ruber Internacional Hospital during the reign of her paternal grandfather, King Juan Carlos I. The royal household used a modern touch to mark the moment. They sent a text message to announce her arrival. It signaled a small but meaningful shift in how Spain would meet the next generation of its royal family. More open, more immediate, and conscious that the world's eyes are always on. As the daughter of the then Prince of Asturias, Leonor was granted the title of Infanta and initially stood second in the line of succession behind her father. Her baptism on January 14, 2006, at La Zarzuela Palace stitched old traditions to that modern start. The ceremony was presided over by Cardinal Antonio Maria Rucco Varela, then Archbishop of Madrid. Following a custom dating back centuries, the water used came from the River Jordan and was poured into a Romanesque baptismal font. Her godparents were her grandparents, King Juan Carlos and Queen Sofia, and she received a name heavy with history. Leonor de Todos los Santos, Leonor of all the saints. Spain had welcomed a child and, with her, a new chapter. Education has been the spine of Leonor's formation. She began at the Escuela Infantil de la Guardia Real, a nursery linked to the Spanish Royal Guard, before moving to Santa Maria de los Rosales in Aravaca, the same school her father attended. The choice was deliberate. It offered a balance of privacy, structure, and academic rigor, and it allowed Princess Leonor and her sister, Infanta Sofia, to move through school years in relative normalcy. In September 2021, Leonor left Spain for the United Kingdom to enroll in the 2-year International Baccalaureate program at UWC Atlantic College in Wales, a school known for its international ethos and focus on public service. She graduated in May 2023, just months before her 18th birthday shaped headlines in Spain and beyond. Her language skills reflect this international orientation. Spanish is her mother tongue. English came early and naturally, supported by bilingual education and extended stays abroad. Around her public appearances, you will often hear her switch into English with ease. Reports over the years have also noted that she has studied Mandarin, another sign that the royal household understands the demands of a global age. It's a quiet, practical preparation for a role that straddles diplomacy, culture, and national identity. The question of wealth inevitably follows any royal profile. The Spanish monarchy operates under a constitutional framework. The budget for the royal household is approved annually by the Spanish Parliament and audited. It covers official functions, staff, security, the upkeep of royal residences, and the working costs tied to the Crown's institutional role. Within that structure, Princess Leonor's education, training, and public engagements are supported. The palace does not publish her personal net worth, and the specific financial arrangements remain private. Various media outlets have estimated that Leonor's net worth exceeds 15 million euros, but those figures are not officially confirmed. What is clear is that her resources are tied to her position within the monarchy. They are meant to enable duty, study, travel, public service, not to fuel a business portfolio. In practical terms, the setup ensures that she can concentrate on the responsibilities ahead. If her schooling built the mind, the next stage is designed to build command. In March 2023, Spain's defense minister, Margarita Robles, announced a royal decree setting out a 3-year military training track for the Princess of Asturias. It is the same path King Felipe VI followed and is a hallmark of European constitutional monarchies that still expect their heads of state to be trained as commanders-in-chief. Leonor began at the General Military Academy in Zaragoza in August 2023, wearing the same cadet uniform as everyone else, living on base, and learning the foundations of army leadership. The plan continues with the Navy at the Escuela Naval Militar in Marine, including time aboard the training ship Juan Sebastián de Elcano, and concludes with the Air and Space Force Academy in San Javier. It is an intensive course meant to develop physical discipline, strategic thinking, and an understanding of the armed forces she may one day lead. Succession in Spain is governed by the 1978 Constitution, which stipulates male preference cognatic primogeniture. In plain language, the throne passes to the sovereign's children in birth order but gives preference to male heirs over their sisters. As King Felipe's elder daughter, Leonor is first in line to the throne and heir presumptive. If the king were to have a legitimate son during his reign, the law would move that son ahead of Leonor in the succession. There have been periodic debates about switching to absolute primogeniture, where the eldest child inherits regardless of gender, but no constitutional amendment has been made. For now, the rules stand as they have for decades, and Leonor remains the future Queen of Spain unless the line changes. Her public life has been a gradual ascent, measured, deliberate, and increasingly confident. In September 2018, she stepped out for her first engagement outside the palace, joining her parents in Covadonga to commemorate the 1300th anniversary of the Kingdom of Asturias. The symbolism was unmistakable. Asturias is a historic cradle of Spanish identity, and the Princess of Asturias title ties the heir to that origin story. In October that same year, on her 13th birthday, Leonor delivered her first public speech to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Spanish Constitution. It was short and controlled, no wasted words, no stage fright, offering a glimpse of the poise that has since become her hallmark. From there, her calendar widened. She has delivered remarks at the Princess of Asturias Awards in Oviedo, where laureates from around the world are celebrated for achievements in science, culture, and humanitarian work. She has visited the Spanish Red Cross headquarters in Madrid to meet young volunteers, highlighting youth engagement and social responsibility. She has appeared at sporting events, including UEFA Women's Euro 2022, alongside her sister, a way to spotlight women's sport and to be seen as part of the ordinary fabric of national life. Each appearance is a calculated step, not too much, not too little, always aligned with values the crown wants to promote. Turning 18 transformed the steady walk into a march. On October 31, 2023, Leonor swore an oath to uphold the Constitution in a solemn session of the Cortes Generales, Spain's parliament. It was a defining moment for a modern monarchy, the heir presumptive pledging fidelity to democratic law in the very chamber where Spain's elected representatives meet. The ceremony was brief but weighty. Afterward, at the royal palace, King Felipe invested his daughter with the collar of the Order of Charles III, the highest civil honor in Spain, formally recognizing her place in the state's architecture. The optics were powerful. Continuity, constitutionality, and a young woman taking on the responsibilities she has been preparing for all her life. There is a measured quality to how Leonor carries herself in public. She does not chase headlines. She does not perform for the cameras. She speaks clearly, looks people in the eye, and does the work. If you watched her through the IB years at UWC Atlantic, the summer she began training in Zaragoza, and the autumn that followed her 18th birthday, you saw consistency, study, service, and statecraft coming together. Spanish media coverage has increasingly reflected that tone. Rather than just the fashion of a princess, the conversation now centers on leadership, public duty, and what a 21st century Spanish monarchy should look like. The relationship between the crown and the Spanish public has always been complex, shaped by Spain's recent history and the monarchy's role as a constitutional symbol. Princess Leonor's trajectory suggests that the palace understands how credibility is built now. Education is part of it. So is discipline. But the most important ingredient might be recognition. Recognition that citizens expect visibility when it matters, humility when it's called for, and real effort when goals are set. That's why her military program matters beyond the barracks. It demonstrates that the future queen is willing to earn her rank, not just inherit it. As heir, Leonor holds the traditional titles linked to the role: Princess of Asturias, Princess of Girona, and Princess of Viana, among others. These are not decoration. They connect her to regions with deep historical significance: Asturias, Catalonia, Navarre, and each title carries its own network of engagements and foundations. In particular, the Princess of Asturias and Princess of Girona foundations create touchpoints with education, entrepreneurship, culture, and scientific innovation, making the heir present in the country's forward-looking spaces. When she presents awards or speaks at these events, she is not only honoring achievement, she is practicing the institutional role that will one day be hers fully. Her private life remains carefully guarded, as it should be for someone her age. Spain has seen the benefits of maintaining boundaries. It preserves a sense of normalcy for Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia and keeps the public's attention where the palace wants it, on duty rather than gossip. The glimpses we do get are calibrated: a school milestone, a quiet family moment on a national holiday, a candid smile at a sporting match. The effect is intentional. It keeps the story human without surrendering control. None of this exists outside the context of Spanish law and politics. The monarchy's budget, reviewed by Parliament, is publicly reported and audited. The institution's role is outlined by the Constitution. Ceremonies, orders, and titles are embedded in centuries of Spanish heritage. Yet Princess Leonor's emergence has added fresh notes to the melody: youth, discipline, and a sense of nationhood that looks forward rather than back. It is not a reinvention. It is an evolution. What makes her path compelling is that it isn't built on mythology. It's built on milestones you can name: birth and baptism, school and graduation, first speech and first state oath, a uniform in Zaragoza, and the golden collar of Charles III glinting under palace lights. Spain is watching a princess become a public servant step by step. That's the point. The future Queen of Spain is not only inheriting a throne, she is learning how to deserve it. As she advances through naval and air training, expect the public role to keep expanding. More speeches, more representation abroad, more visits tied to youth, science, culture, and social inclusion. Expect also the steady presence at the Princess of Asturias Awards and the Princess of Girona Foundation events, where she can meet the people who are building the Spain she will one day represent. Each year will add to the ledger: more experience, more trust, and more clarity about the kind of queen she intends to be. Princess Leonor embodies continuity in a changing country. She carries the legacy of Spanish royalty and the expectations of a generation that wants institutions to earn their place. Her education, her dedication to military training, and her careful growing public presence reveal a young woman committed to the path ahead. The oath in Parliament and the decoration at the royal palace were more than ceremonies. They were declarations of duty, of identity, and of Spain's faith in the person who may one day wear the crown. Tell us what you think. Which moment in Princess Leonor's journey stands out to you most? Her first public speech, her graduation from UWC Atlantic, swearing to uphold the Constitution, or the decision to follow a full 3-year military training program? Do you believe Spain should update the succession law to absolute primogeniture, or is the current system the right fit for now? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at Leonor of Spain, her lineage, education, finances, military training, and the duties of an heir, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss our next profile. We'll keep bringing you thoughtful, well-sourced stories about the Spanish monarchy and the people shaping the future of Europe's royal houses.